tracks. Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Good morning. Coming at you a little bit earlier today. About 40 minutes earlier. I have a what do you call them? A podcast. That's what we call them. I was just saying that I'm 40 minutes early. I have a podcast at 11. So, and after that, I have to get ready. Then I have to go set up for the meeting. Then I have to do the meeting. Then I have to come home and then I have to set up for the other meeting. So there's my day. And I will not be in any kind of rush to get it done either. This one won't be as long as usual, probably about 15, maybe 20 minutes. I have to have time to kind of set up for the podcast. Not physically set up for it. I just have to do a few things, but I like to get mentally and spiritually set up also. It's a process that I do. And yep, I'm not going to tell you my process. Why? Because it's my process. You go find your own process. It's just talking to God, getting in a certain mood. That's all it is. Before we get started, I'm going to start doing some random facts. I'm going to do random facts. Looks like we got some good news. Team, we have been having low to no attendance in the AA group over the next few months. We'd like to have Dion invite to all our OP houses, stage, team meetings. Yeah, look at that. More service work. And go talk to a bunch of people about AA. Actually, I might pass that on to CPC. All right. Here's our first weird fact. A cloud weighs around 1 million tons. Cloud can typically has a volume around 1 km times 3 in the density. I have no idea what I'm saying. I have no idea what I'm saying. Giraffes are 30 times more likely to get hit by lightning than people. Nice, interesting fact. Identical twins do not have the same fingerprints. That I knew. That I already knew. I watched too much drama and Law and Order and stuff. I already knew that one. Oh. My friends and I, we used to collect useless knowledge. My friend Brian, he was one of my friends growing up. I haven't talked to him in 6-7 years now. He got mad at me. He wants to keep drinking. He's one of those where he didn't have alcoholism in the beginning, but it certainly kind of grew into that. So I hope one day it's not going to happen. I don't know that he'll have any willingness or anything to ever. Yeah, that's up to him though. Crazy Libras. All right, welcome to Daily Trudge. I don't really have anything against Libras. Actually, Libras have been some of my best friends. So welcome to Daily Trudge. If you're here, please say hello, whether you're watching the live or the rewatch. Now, I know the topic probably sounds weird to expect, but Dion, we don't do expectations. All right. Expectations lead to resentments. Not always. No. It all depends on how you utilize something. That is what these things come down to. See, I was using things wrong. There's nothing wrong with expecting the best. It just means to have a good attitude of what comes to you. That's what it means. It doesn't really mean that you're putting expectations online. Okay. and accept the rest, accept the things you can't change. Right? It's pretty much the Serenity Prayer, but there's a reading to this today. A Day at a Time, Hazelden literature. I like Day at a Time. I like Hazelden literature, unless it is Drop the Rock, of course. I'll have to like it all. Ow, motherfucker. Sorry. I did not mean to say that out loud. It's my wrist. All right, there we go. Doesn't really make it stop hurting, but it does make it from me being able to bend it and hurting it more. So it is what it is. July 23rd, reflection for the day. Today, I'll try to settle for less than I wish were possible and be willing to not only accept it, but to appreciate it. Not everything's going to, not every day's going to be unicorns and butterfly farts. But we certainly can try and have a good attitude with what is going on. Some days are just harder. I know. I've had them too. And I'm sure I'll have another one where the day's a little bit tougher. But for the most part, things are pretty even. Yeah. Is my life full of one racking dilemma after another? Sometimes. All right. I've been really big lately on problems being opportunities. Does that mean that I don't get upset? Does it mean that I don't get mad? No. There's one thing that's going on that I'm losing my patience with. I'm done fucking waiting. There's a big chunk of money that is owed to us, and somebody was supposed to sign off on it on the 5th. And since I'm not hearing anything, my brain just thinks of, I'm ready to put a foot up asses real soon here. I don't have the phone numbers. If I had the phone number for that judge, I would be calling them every hour on the fucking hour. That's just kind of how I am. I'm an assistant fuck. Okay? That's our money. We're talking like over $10,000 here. So I'm not saying people haven't tried. There are a lot of things standing in the way. What it came down to is the person that's paying, which is my wife's father, who has done nothing for Shannon ever. But Shannon's that kind of person, right? His stuff got caught up in probate court and shit like that because his ex-wife refused to sign anything. So we had to force her by, through a judge, and that's taken months. And now it's waiting and waiting and waiting. Hurry up and wait. Hurry up and wait. I got shit to pay. Okay. But I can't let that ruin my day. I can't let it interfere with the other things that I do. Good morning, Clara. Clara says, boom, click, 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 boom. Which I believe is from a song. Isn't it? Click, click, boom. And not thinking fast enough today. All right. Today, I will not expect too much of anyone, especially myself. But, Dion, you said expect the best. Yeah, expect the best. Expect that you can get the best out of any situation that you choose to. That's what we're talking about. It doesn't mean that I put expectations on other people, right? It means, here's the thing. It's intention. It is the power of intention. Okay? And the power of intention is, I'm in a good mood. I'm in a good mood. I'm in a good mood. Is how we talk to ourselves. Well, today's a bad day. Today's a bad day. See, we will predict what it is that we want. I know I do that. So I'm careful on what I say to myself on that stuff. You ever had a day you've been up 10, 15 minutes and three things have gone, oh, it's just going to be, that's it. Well, that's it. It's just going to be that kind of day. And guess what it turns out to be? That kind of day. Because I expected it. When I expect the worst, that's what I'm going to get. When I expect the best, that's what I'm going to get. I'll try to remember that contentment comes from gratefully accepting the good that comes to us and not from being furious at life because it's not better. You know, for a long time I lived in a world where I expected the world to make my life better. And it didn't turn out very well for me. Right? Do I have it written down? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Maybe it's on this one. I don't know. All right, there. Oh, there it is. Here's what life owed me. I wrote it down. Nothing. Nothing. Nope. But if I have a good attitude and I expect the best to come to me, even if it's a problem, I will still be able to see the good in it. Not only that, but I'll be able to see the good in other people. How often have you been in an AA meeting? You hear somebody talking through a problem, but all you hear is progress. Happens to me all the time. It is because of this, because I expect the best. Okay. And what isn't good, I accept. I accept it for what it is. Because if I can expect or if I can accept something for what it is, now I can do something about it. I may not be able to change the situation. I may not be able to do that, but I can certainly change my own attitude. And if you need to, start your day over. Absolutely, Clara, forever shifting life. Life has got to be a challenge, because if it became stagnant for me, man, I'd get bored and I'd be out drinking. Yeah, expect the shifting. Yeah, I would agree with that too. I would expect change. Yeah. All right. Do I realize the difference between resignation and realistic acceptance? Yeah, I don't resign to things. Well, no, that's not totally true. There are some things that do need to be resigned because they're just over with. There are some problems that are over with. So that's kind of real. But in this case, resigning, this would be the difference between self-esteem and high self-esteem and low self-esteem, probably. No, that's not quite what I don't think that's quite where I was trying to get to on that. Nah. But I mean, it kind of fits, but not really what I was trying to go after. Right. Resigning is like, oh, yeah, I guess, I guess it's all right. That's resignation. Acceptance is, yep, that's the way it is. You want to go do something? Let's go on, go help somebody out. You want to go do something else? Because clearly we've accepted this. We can kind of move on now. Do you hear the difference? Just the tone in my voice. It's the attitude. Resignation is the woe is me. Acceptance means, yeah, it sucks, but it is what it is. What are we going to do about it? Okay. When it came to that money, okay, I've had to accept for months, 4 months now. I've been accepting. Okay. Now, if I resign to it, I'm going to have a bad attitude. If I would have resigned to it, then all the times my grandkids came, like this last weekend, they wanted things. We didn't even have enough food to really get them, and you know how it is if you have grandkids. Where's dessert? It's my favorite part. It's my favorite part of being able to get dessert together for them. I love it because I didn't get to do that before. And we didn't really have that this weekend. So we had to do a little bit more digging. We had to think about things. We had and the fact that I noticed the fact that I went out of my way and still had a good attitude about it. My grandchildren noticed it. That, hey, just because there's a problem here doesn't mean that it cannot be solved. If we have a good attitude about it, then it'll be a lot better, won't it? And I'm glad my grandkids are learning that now, because it took me a long time to figure that out, like 45 years. I'm sure people tried to teach it to me, but I just wasn't catching it. Right. All right. I got to kind of start wrapping this up because I got 22 minutes till my podcast, and I want to be at a place where I'm ready for them. I gotta do a little bit of shifting in my life here. A little bit of shifting. I gotta change my sales a little bit to fit. You guys know how it is with the podcast with me. I love doing them, and they're very important to me. And I want to make sure that the speaker has every chance that they have. So, all right, may I not set my sights unrealistically high and expect too much? May I look backwards long enough to see that myself set impossible goals were the trappings of my addiction? Too often, I ended up halfway there, confronted by my own failure. Those foiled again, I failed again, feelings became monumental excuses to give in to my compulsion, which blanketed my miseries. May I avoid that sickle pattern? May I be realistic? Today, I'll remember good is good enough. When I expected life to be shitty, I got a shitty life. Even now, when I get trapped in doom scrolling, the same thing happens to me. I made a decision the other day. I am only allowed to post, I am only allowed to comment on somebody's post if it is positive. I found myself being very negative. Got to change those things, right? Did you think I was perfect? I hope not. Right? Sure, I come in here and, sometimes I come on here, I'm angry. And I'm not going to hide that from you. But for the most part, I'm usually in a pretty good mood. Yeah. Right? But what I do not do anymore is I do not set myself up to fail. That's what I do not do. Life always turned out, I always get the short end. And guess what I will continue to get if I talk that way. So be good to you. All right. Carter says, Dion, you're amazing. Thank you. I appreciate that. I do. Claire also says, oftentimes one of the reasons why I keep coming back, I can't wait to see what your higher power has in store for you. Yeah. I'm already living my life. I see those ones on the daily, but seeing other people, there's nothing better than watching somebody else reclaim their lives. For me, anyway, I have found no greater joy in life, and it gives me a high. I'll admit this shit. I don't care. Fine, I'll reset my helping others date. Right. All right, but now I get to. Before it was, oh, they always get everything, and now but now, see, I used to get jealous. Now, even if something has happened for somebody else, hasn't happened for me, I love it. I love it because at least it happened and I got to see it. I got to see it. The forest is beautiful, so don't cut off your nose to spite your face. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I appreciate it. I love you. You know I do. Peace out.